Well, good afternoon. I'm Wolfgang. As you can hear from my accent, I'm originally from Germany. That's where the name comes from, Wolfgang. And I'm really pleased to be here today. This is a great honor to talk to you. And thank you for coming, and thank you for your interest in GIS for logistics or mobile resource management. And you will see, I'm going to start with a small introduction. So who's ESRI and what is GIS? So if you look at this little map there, you'll see where we are. Has anybody been to our campus? Yeah? Oh, so I don't need that. So, you know, just we're in Redlands somewhere, and we're also beyond Redlands. So we have a lot of offices internationally. We have 60 or 70 different distributors all over the world that work with us. And on top of that, we have our own offices overseas as well. So it's a pretty good community, and as you can see from the numbers, we have a lot of users. And if you've ever been to the user conference in San Diego, which I really recommend if you're into GIS, that's quite an interesting adventure. We have about 15,000, or this year we had 15,000 users there at the conference, and it's all an ESRI organized event in San Diego. It's beautiful by the harbor there, and it's really a good way to get GIS from the fire hose, so you really get exposed to a lot of different things. So what is GIS? GIS is Geographic Information System, and integrates hardware, software, and data. And it's used for capturing and for managing and analyzing that data to display geographically. And it can be displayed in several ways. It's usually really meant to be used for viewing and interpreting or visualizing data on maps, globes, reports, or charts. So as you can see, it's not just maps, it's integrating that with other tools as well. And the technology can be integrated with external systems, enterprise information systems, enterprise systems like SAP or work order management systems. And also the information can really easily be shared. And that is where the whole online community comes in. I don't know, do you guys know about ArcGIS Online? Yeah? Really far beyond this. Okay. So then this slide also makes sense to you, right? This is about sharing, and as you can see, I have over here the online content, and I have all these different systems that build up layer by layer by layer of information. And then the operator is really the guy or the person that holds it all together and makes decisions on what to display. And now we're getting into mobile resources. So, I mean, if you think about mobile resources, of course, a money bag is a mobile resource, and that is not what I'm talking about. So, I want to give you a definition, and this is really a Wolfgang definition. There's no official definition of mobile resource because everybody thinks of it in a different way. The way we think about mobile resources, it's people and movable assets that are applied within an organization to produce benefit. And that is very close to the official resource definition, which is very similar, but in this case, we added the mobile part. And then also, what are mobile resources? So mobile resources are vehicles, are aircraft, are vessels, field workers, inspectors, equipment. So anything that is not necessarily stationary. Mobile resource can be stationary, but it's also movable. And then, what is mobile resource management? So management, of course, is a daunting task sometimes, and hopefully it's not like this. The resource management definition that I've coined is mobile resource management is the efficient deployment of mobile resources within an organization. And again, this is closely related to management in general, but it's really the effective and efficient way to deal with mobile resources. So, what are the key motivators to actually use mobile resource management? And those are, of course, on the financial side. I have cost miles reduction, which automatically will reduce fuel consumption, and it will also save time. And the time is saved in the field by the field worker or by the person driving, but it's also saved by the person in the office doing the planning work, doing the monitoring work, having all these additional tools to really cut down on time so they can use their expertise more valuably. And the environmental impact is really critical as well. So when we reduce fuel, we also automatically reduce emissions, and that is maybe an obvious thing, but it's really more and more of a mandatory item in a lot of economies, in a lot of countries, where emission reduction is not just a financial goal, but it's a political goal as well. And as a good steward of our environment, this is very critical. So another point that I have up there is safety. So how does safety relate to mobile resource management? It is, for instance, if I have awareness of unsafe areas, let's say due to hurricanes or flooding, that I don't want my workers, my field personnel to be exposed to, then I can actually map that out and have tools to automatically detect those and alert people if they get too close. We actually had some examples in the past with Sempra Energy, who is our gas company provider. So in the Inland Empire area, they provide our natural gas. And they have these meter readers, and the meter readers go out there and basically read meters at every house, or used to before automatic meter readers became more prevalent. So what it means is that a person may be attacked by a dog, or may be attacked by a angry person because the gas was shut off since they didn't pay their bills, and there are a lot of neighborhoods, unfortunately, that are not as safe for others. So this safety issue is actually really relevant for mobile field workers as well. And then overall, we want to raise operational awareness. That means information can be shared within the organization. I have operational awareness, managers, supervisors, but anybody has access to it. So I can now disseminate information freely. Mobile resource management may not be the term that you heard frequently, but what you probably heard frequently is some very related terms. And one of them is asset management or fleet management, workforce management, then dispatching, route optimization. So those all go hand in hand with mobile resource management. And some are a subset of mobile resource management, and for some mobile resource management is a subset for instance, fleet management goes a little bit beyond just mobile resources, but it can be, in ways can be used synonymously. So why do we want to use mobile resource management? The one driving factor, as I mentioned, is cost. And if you look at this chart, you'll see the fuel cost. It's very telling where we're heading. I mean, of course, everybody that has a car and has to get gas can, from experience, tell that gas is not getting cheaper. But we see there's a lot of ups and downs, and in 2008, the gas prices dropped significantly and then climbed up again. But if I look at the overall curve here, that's really what we're looking at over time. I mean, the peaks and valleys are maybe not that interesting. If you look at the curve, you see that right now, 2012 with $4 per gallon, we're pretty much in that trajectory line. So it's not going to go very much down, or the trend is there. And we're going to see increasing gas prices over time. So this is one of the key driving factors here. And when I look at the fleet statistics in the U.S., this is just the United States, then you can tell how many vehicles are out there. So if you look at those numbers for commercial vehicles, I have 3 million commercial vehicles that are out there, and a lot of those are utility companies, but it's also other commercial companies. Government fleets, there are over 2 million, or almost 3 million government fleets out there. So that's cities, counties, states, federal a lot of vehicles. Every city has vehicles, and every city maintains fleets. The Redlands fleet may not be as large, but San Bernardino County has several hundred vehicles, so it really scales up. And if I look at the industry, total rental cars may not be as interesting from a fleet management view because it's more individuals typically driving those. But if I look at the industry total with 11 million or almost 12 million vehicles in 2011, that's a lot of vehicles. And if I look at the larger fleet sizes, so I'm basically ignoring anything below 15 vehicles, to say any fleet of more than 15 vehicles, how many vehicles are that total? And that's still a pretty significant number with over 8 million vehicles. So all these vehicles, if they're managed properly, can save fuel, can save emissions, can help us in an economical but also environmental way. I want to use a little example, and that is, even though it's an example that is fabricated here, it is real because it is really based on experience that we have in the field, and it's based on numbers. The vehicle fleet size of 500 vehicles that I'm using is actually not very high. If you look at Semper Energy, Semper Energy has about 5,700 vehicles in that fleet. So you can see that there are very many large organizations. I think there are about 100 fleets over 2,000 vehicles in the U.S. And then there are thousands of fleets over 100 vehicles. So if I look at these numbers, just as to get the cost-saving point across, I have cost per vehicle per driver of about $100,000 per year. So every vehicle has maintenance costs, has, of course, the purchase price of the vehicle that has to be distributed over the years in operation. It has the driver that's actually getting the salary, and benefits, and all of this. If I combine that, it's about $100,000 per year. That's an average, and that can vary from vehicle type to vehicle type. It's a good round number to start with. And if I look at the annual fleet cost of 500 vehicles, it's $50 million. So any organization that has 100 vehicles has a huge chunk of cost that really has to be accounted for, $50 million. So if I can save just a single percent, that already is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if I take 5%, which is a normal saving with mobile resource management based on experience, then 5% totals actually to savings of $2.5 million. And I compare that to the actual cost to put in a mobile resource management system, which is typically less than $1 million for this type of size. Then I have an ROI, return on investment, of over $1 million. So in the first year, I already get $1.5 million return on putting a system like that. That's pretty significant. So it's a no-brainer to go with mobile resource management, to go with fleet management tools that optimize the fleet. And I have 5% as a minimum saving. What we have seen when we put in systems for Sears and for others and Semper Energy is that oftentimes those savings are a lot higher, 15% up to 30%. Sears is a good example. They saved, first year they put the system in, they saved $50 million. And that's because they have a very large van fleet. They also have home delivery vehicles. And this is actually many years ago. This was in '98, so it's quite a while back. So the numbers haven't changed. The fuel cost has changed, so it's actually more drastic these days. So this is just an example of how we can calculate return on investment in these types of projects, why GIS logistics, GIS mobile resource management makes sense. So what's a typical workflow?